to the upside version of the State of the Union show with myself and my upside down friend, Mr. Tony Merwin. Tony, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you for asking.
Well, you know, you looked like almost a Lionel Richie video from back in the 90s, dancing on the ceiling. Dancing on the ceiling, kind of being upside down. But I like Hello. Think about that video, Hello. And if they did that video today, do you remember the video?
Vaguely.
Remember, he was like an instructor of a class where they formed clay.
Yeah.
And then there was a girl that was blind. She couldn't see. And then she kind of she made a sculpture of his face.
Uh-huh.
And then they started making out. It's like, I mean, that was a student, okay, which breaks the rules. Okay.
Is that how the inspiration for the movie Ghost got started?
Right. But all of a sudden it's based on love, so that's okay. I understand.
I like it.
You know? Yeah, well, buddies, but you feeling all right? You feel good or you feeling stunning? Where are you at? Where are you feeling?
Outstanding.
You know
I mean, it's hard not to feel good coming out of 8%. I mean, that momentum that carries behind you is like a train.
It's funny.
Train just pushes you.
Figure we talk about some of that today as well. I just wanted to say, for someone that feels outstanding and looks outstanding, that must be amazing. You know, I mean, that
it really is. It really is. I woke up this morning driving in, and I was like, you know what? It's good to wake up and know that you're the GOAT.
Yeah. You know what? I love it. I love it. That's it. That's you and Jordan.
Well, I was born in January. I am the GOAT.
There we go. There we go. Well, sir, I appreciate you being on. I want to just welcome everybody onto the show today. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and share this content with others. But I just wanted to, first of all, just say thank you to all our viewership. And right in the beginning here, just say that we have an agenda in the next several weeks on different products that different products that we're speaking of. And I know that we've talked a little bit about cancer. We've talked about some hospital indemnity stuff. Today, our core product that we're going to be discussing is really going to be about this dental and vision product that we've been pushing, and we'll get into all that. But before anything else, Tony, I guess we need to kick off, and I'd like to talk a little bit about your past weekend and ours here at Strong Family. And I'll give you the floor and how your weekend was and what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was amazing that the two of us were both in Dallas, yet we couldn't find a way to connect.
Yes, yes.
We both had stuff going on, very busy. Obviously, I was at 8% Nation, got up there Thursday afternoon. Got to meet up with our good buddy Ryan Nutter and Brian Hess from Advisors Excel. Took him out for some serious Texas barbecue right there at the Pecan Lodge. And then we jumped into the event. They had a kickoff party Thursday night that was excellent. Yep. And they opened up the whole ballroom, music, TVs, blaring, popping. Everything was a good time. And then,
Love it.
And then the conference kicked off Friday. And then we had 3 full days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Incredible lineup of speakers. Eric Thomas was there, the hip hop preacher. He closed out day 1. I had never listened to him, was really not that familiar with him.
Okay.
And was absolutely blown away.
Oh, but he's amazing. He's awesome.
Blown away.
Yes.
He's billed as the #1 motivational speaker on planet Earth right now.
Yes, that's right.
And when you hear that, and then you see him come out, like the two don't seem visually and aesthetically, they don't look like they go together.
I know.
Right? Because we're always so used to a very polished, like Zig Ziglar, wear a suit, right? Very polished type of orator.
Always.
This dude is rough and raw.
Yeah.
Comes out, he's a chubby little dude. He's got a little flat brim cap on, a t-shirt, and some shorts and tennis shoes.
Yep.
But pours it out from the heart. Like, I mean, he left it all out there for us. Was phenomenal. Sure. That was my favorite moment of the entire conference. As a matter of fact, I even text Cody during that moment. I texted him like, thank you for this moment, because this is exceptional.
Yeah.
Day 2 didn't slow down. I mean, day 2 was phenomenal. Again, action-packed speakers giving us good action steps, as well as some good conceptual ideas to elevate our business and our mindset. Closed out with Patrick Bet-David on day 2, which was incredible. I knew of him.
Yes.
But really didn't know all of his story.
Oh, love his content too, dude. He's got some great videos and some hilarious things that he's done.
Yes. Great sense of humor.
Very
sharp guy.
Yes.
Obviously very knowledgeable. So getting to see him and listen to him was awesome. And then day 3, again, action packed. Met a lady I'd never heard of named Danelle Delgado, who is a social media just genius and coaching expert. Multimillionaire. She was phenomenal. And then we closed it out on day 3, Sunday, with Darren Woodson, ex-defensive back for the the Dallas Cowboys. And he was not only just super cool and had some great things to say, but he was very casual. Like after he was done, he just went hung out in the lobby and let anybody walk up and approach him and hang out with him and shake his hand and talk to him. Like he was super just relaxed, down to earth, very approachable dude. And he got up there and Cody asked him some, questions about mindset and what it's like in the NFL, learning to be a champion. How does that correlate to business? And he told us a lot of mindset stuff and how it was for him going from college into the NFL and then now into business. He's in commercial real estate, owns a pretty big outfit. And then he told some great stories, just reminiscing on the nostalgia of the NFL, like time spent trying to cover Jerry Rice, time spent battling his own teammate, Michael Irvin. Like it's some really cool stories he was able to tell as well. So that was an awesome experience. But all in all, the event was absolutely phenomenal. Cody and Lauren completely outdid themselves. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, buddy. A lot of the stuff that we've seen obviously shows that the excitement. Some guys that I know close were obviously there as well, so that was fun to see some photos and see you guys hanging out too.
Brian Flanagan.
Yeah.
He's
Luke
there
Richard
always.
was
I got
there.
to hang out with him a little bit again.
Yeah. Be careful with Brian. Be careful. And then Luke Richard was there. Did you spend any time with Luke? Yeah.
I didn't get to spend any time with him. We crossed paths a couple times, but we didn't get to spend a lot of space together now.
Yeah. Both those guys live in Dallas now, somewhere in Dallas.
Okay.
When I say Dallas, I think Luke might be in Flowerville. Maybe if I'm right, that's Flowerville.
Flower Mound.
Flower Mound. I mean, thank you. Yes, sir. And then I believe that I think Brian's in Dallas somewhere.
Okay.
So I think he's living somewhere in Dallas. So anyway, well, cool. Well, yeah, at that same time we were out there and we had an incredible time with our team. So what we did, Mr. Strong decided to put together a promotional contest to have an event 3 days down at the Gaylord. And if you haven't been, the place is amazing. The complex never stops. It keeps growing. Every time you're walking, you just feel like this thing is just never ending. Incredible water park. I mean, they have a pool and then they have a water park at the resort. They've got there's just so many different activities you could do at this place. But man, we got there on Thursday, went to Papacito's and had dinner, had everyone meet up there. You've been to Papacito's before?
Oh yeah. Okay. There's many times.
No complaints. No complaints.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm a big fan of the entire Papa's brand and restaurant.
Yes, me too. Well, to your point. And then on Friday, man, we went to Six Flags. Thank you. Hey, and Nate, can you do me a favor? I left the coffee on the coffee maker. Can you please give that to me? I know I'm being high maintenance here. Yeah, I just left it over there like a fool. But yeah, so buddy, then on Friday we go to Six Flags. Okay. And yes, it was hot. But man, I got to tell you, I'm just so grateful. We had we had 16 people, think about this. You go to a park with 16 people, most of them salespeople, right? A personalities, this and that. And I'm telling you, I never felt like the group ever wanted to separate. And you know how it is when you're with a group. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. You know how it is when you're with a group. This person's got to use the bathroom. Now these people got to wait. But then that group's over there kind of ruffling, just, man, how much longer we got to wait? Every damn restroom we go to, they got to use it. That's people talking about me. Okay. So, they're doing this kind of stuff, right? Well, I don't think it happened one time the whole weekend, let alone just at Six Flags. Okay. There was time, this couple over here, we're going to have to go sit down. We're going to handle a few things. We'll follow back up with you guys when we're ready to go back. They'd call and they'd come right back in the cycle, whatever we were doing. Right. Six Flags was an exceptional time. We get back, we end up having dinner late at the hotel, a beautiful Italian restaurant, had an incredible time. And then Saturday comes around. We go to Ripley's, Believe It or Not. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I put one in San Antonio.
Oh, the one in San. Okay, this place is super cool. You've seen the experience, right? So some things you're like, man, that's super cool, and some things like, why do they have that here?
Right,
right. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So we did that, had an incredible time. Then we go hang out at the water park, and then we went to Papados. And you can't complain about Papados.
No.
And I forgot, even after Ripley's, Believe It or Not, before we went to the pool, we went to the Galleria. People got to go to the Galleria. They touch different stores. And again, when you go to the mall, people can be irritated. No, these guys are all just, we'll go together. We'll go together. Man, we've got a team that is doing some special things. I just cannot just say it enough. Zach Dunlop, one of our trainers, is awesome. Lexi Kennedy, Erica Curtis was there. Jeff Milburn was there. Obviously, Nathan was with us, Justin Klusak, and then their spouses. just a good time. And Jamie,
Awesome.
I said to Jamie and Bridget, I mean, they always are about this creativity and try to create memorable moments, man. They definitely took this one and, knocked it out of the ballpark.
Awesome. How's Lexi's foot doing? Was she able to navigate around pretty easily?
So, we were like rock stars, as I may have mentioned on last week's episode, because we have fast passes and a wheelchair. So, okay, we're
get out of our way.
Yeah, I mean, we're floating on air. I mean, it's God over water, and then it's Lexi and strong family and a wheelchair. It's like the ET, when ET was going up in the air. You know what I'm saying? That's us at Six Flags. Okay.
Awesome.
But it got to a place where the wheelchair kind of was in the way.
Sure.
And the best way to say it was, Zach Dunlop brought his mother with him, who's a sweet lady, because they brought their baby with them. And okay, yes, sir. Oh, yeah, I got to look at the time. He's like, Van, now you got to get moving. That's anything. Stay on the agenda. I'll make you laugh real quick. So Zach's mom, like I said, was with us because she was watching the baby sometimes when Zach and his wife would go ride on a ride or whatever. And it was fun. By the end of the day, she goes, well, isn't really the wheelchair like the drink holder, like the drink holder? Because there's a drink here. There's a drink here. There's a drink over there. And now really all we're doing is like, we're rolling like a shopping cart. You know what I'm saying? That's all we're doing. So she hit it. She said it best, because they had legitimate strollers, but even those strollers are starting to get held down.
Right.
Just super funny. Yes. So anyway, all right. Well, we got to get into product of the week. I wanted to talk a little bit about dental and vision with you and go over some of that.
Sure.
And we have a video that's coming out. You mentioned Family Feud. So we did another Family Feud episode. So that episode will come out discussing some dental and vision benefits.
Awesome.
So we have that video coming out. But I know you sell some. I'm sporting my UNL shirt today because we sell a lot of United National Life, dental and vision. But if I stand corrected, there's also an Aetna product that I've got some agents that are selling that they're excited about. And I know you promote some of that action. So maybe I'll shut up because we're going to have a lot of content on us. Yesterday we released, or on Tuesday, we released Hunter Gordy from UNL with a podcast and we discussed these topics. So I'll just shut up and give you the floor, sir. And now we get Tony Merwin's perspective, companies you work with, and the whole dental vision line.
Yeah, we work with quite a few of them, from DVH products that are combo to some of the standalone products that are out there. I will say that in my 17 years in insurance, dental plans have gotten a lot better.
Yes.
There's not only more of them, but the benefits are richer.
Sure.
When I originally started selling back in 2004, there was basically one or two dental products, and they were pretty much garbage.
Yes.
Like they were really poor. Now they've certainly gotten a lot better. I still feel like all the products are kind of middle of the road still. Like, pretty much all of them are somewhere between $1,000 to $1,500 or $2,000 benefit.
Sure.
Although there are some new in the last year or so, there's been some innovation to push those benefits higher. So now we have dental plans out there pushing benefits up to $5,000 per year, which is outstanding. And necessary for two reasons. Number one, dental's gotten more expensive in general. Dental care has gotten more expensive, so those higher benefits are needed for one.
For sure, yes.
And the need for dental, I think people are starting to realize. I think there's a little bit of shift in mentality where people are really starting to realize that taking care of your teeth is one of the first steps in really taking care of your entire bodily health.
Yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
Bad teeth, bad gums can lead to heart disease, can lead to diabetes, other complications. So truly starting with your teeth and your gums, it's one of the best ways to lead towards health. So I think people are starting to really believe in that and starting to buy into dental more. I mean, if you look at some of the stats, according to Cigna, 46% of adults age 30 plus have gum disease signs. So if almost half of the people on the planet, or at least in the US, have signs of gum disease, then that tells us obviously there is a huge need for dental. Right. So we know the need is there. Now it's just a matter of finding the right products. Since, at least for the longest time, since all the products kind of fit into the same basket, as far as benefit levels and cost for the longest time, I always just went to the one that was the easiest to write and had the best network. Easiest for me to write as an agent, easiest for my client to find service on. And for me, that was always Ameritas. But over the years, these other plans that are coming out, they're really starting to force Ameritas to kind of maybe make some changes too. And they just recently updated their plans again to improve them some more, give some extra benefit. Now they go all the way up to 2,500 versus 2,000. They added a LASIK benefit into their vision portion. So they've done some nice things to enhance that one. But we just have a new product that came out from Cigna that is pretty strong. That one's got a 5K benefit. And then National Care came out not too long ago with the 5K benefit. That one picked up some speed, backed up by Nationwide, which is obviously a huge brand. And I talked to that guy, and he said that he's considering adding a $7,500 and $10,000 benefit onto his product. And his whole thought process was not because anybody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy the 10K benefit. He's like, but I'll sell more 5K benefits if I put those two top tiers above it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that's certainly true. A lot of things, right? If you give people three choices, they're most often going to take the one in the middle.
It's so funny. Hunter said the exact same line. He said that. He goes,
right.
You know how it is. People always take the middle one.
They take them. They don't want the cheapest one. They don't need the best one. They want the one. I'll take middle of the road. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So that was his whole philosophy. And why would I put a $10,000 dental benefit out there? We'll sell more $5,000 benefit plans that way. Those are probably the three that I'm working with the most. Or I'd say, well, going back, you mentioned Aetna. So Aetna DVH is one that we sell a lot of. We used to sell a lot of the Medico, but it seems to have gravitated all that business to Aetna's DVH product. And then Ameritas and National Care are probably the two other the two standalones that we sell the most of.
Yep.
I got a few guys selling SureBridge. I'm not much of a fan of it, and it's not a bad product by any means as far as design, but for dental to work really, really well, the provider network is really what has to be there, in my opinion. And so that's kind of why I like the Ameritas product as well as the National Care product, because they seem to have, maybe next to Delta Dental, they seem to have probably the biggest networks out there. So for my customer, super easy for them to find someone that accepts the plan.
Yep. You know, I also want to make mention, I know you probably saw it as you're speaking here. Rondi's got out here. Good morning. In North Carolina, Mutual of Omaha has a 3,000 plan that covers implants.
That is correct. I forgot about the Move product. It does go up to 3K now as well. And that's just a standalone plan. There's a Vision Rider, as I remember, you can add on to that one. I don't get a lot of traction on that one. But I do have some agents selling it. And that one is on the Carrington network, as I remember, which is one of the more popular networks out there. I think Medico uses it, Aetna uses it, I believe SureBridge uses it. I think Cigna's using the Carrington network as well. So not quite as big as the Ameritas or like the Delta Dental or Max Dental networks, but still strong.
Yeah. You know, because for the longest time we talked about, I know we're getting into the next section that we're supposed to get into today. For those that are tuned in, we're gonna be on the sales tips here. We broke it down into two sections. We're gonna be talking about working your CRM. Wanted to really dive into a little bit of that debate with Tony here for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to talk about how many policies in a house should someone look to have to increase their retention rate with their client base. And obviously that's always seemed to be the magic number. We're going to dive into that, and we'll circle back around with some more dental and vision when we come to that, because I think that's also a huge help in making that happen. But yeah, just to finish the point, I think that dental vision space for the longest time, specifically on the dental side, was as you get older, look, your teeth are going to go bad. We'll just pull them out one at a time as we go. And that's just part of how you're going to die. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, it would just say the later years, we don't care anymore. That's just, you're going to die as you start losing your teeth, and today we live in a space where Rondi's talking about Mutual of Omaha saying, hey, we'll help, so there is value in you maintaining a full set of teeth in your mouth, even if they're not real.
Yeah. Assuming you like to chew meat.
Whatever it might be, right? That's all I'm saying. It's just the mind shift there has changed some, and I think that's why the products have changed.
Agreed 100%. I think that's a big part of the mindset shift. People are starting to understand that taking care of their teeth is extremely important.
For sure.
Because again, it does, as I pointed out, lead to other complications and mainly heart problems, heart disease, and anything with your blood, because that's where it comes from. Because what happens when you have gum disease, not to get too much off, but all your blood, or not all of it, but a lot of it rushes to that area to constantly fight the infection.
Right.
So your blood is not circulating the way it should properly to take care of the rest of your body.
100.
It has this priority that it's going to deal with on a 24/7 basis.
Yes.
So yeah, you're right. Mindsets changed, products have changed, and now we have a prolific number of dental plans to choose from out there. And most of them do cover implants. One big caveat on the implant thing is they all have a missing tooth clause, or most of them do at least.
Okay.
Meaning that if you're already missing a tooth, They're not going to cover the implant to go fill that one.
Right.
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 Implants are designed with like, hey, we need to pull that tooth. So we can either pull it, put a crown on or whatever, or no, let's just pull it and put an implant in there because it's messed up or it's broken or whatever the case may be.
All right.
So it's always a not just a cosmetic procedure, but it's an actual health and benefit procedure.
There we go. And here's a sales tip. Maybe if someone's missing a tooth, you just need them to miss another tooth after they get the plan that fits in the other spot. And then, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you get a little discount, maybe a little discount. But no, also I just want to quick mention, a lot of these dental plans now too are so solid that there's no, you don't need a network. You don't need to be part of a group. A lot of times, they're just funding. Hey, when you get your teeth cleaned, the national average, as an example, is 125. We're paying, half of your cleaning for you. So boom, you're going to get a check for that. Just proves you did a cleaning.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
and I love that.
Indemnity type plans out there. You can go wherever you want.
Right. Yeah. So that's also flex. And I think it's made a big game changer in that industry with that product. Okay. Let's get into sales tips. So 2 weeks ago, this kind of came up because 2 weeks ago, when Jamie Butch and I took our wives and went to Vegas for the Financial Independence Group Symposium, man, so many of the agents that I spoke with are just talking about their day-to-day grind and what they do. And man, they live in their CRM. They live in it. And I'm talking about the guy that at least has a year's worth of clients. Okay. This isn't some rocket science. This isn't, well, man, when I get 4,000 or 5,000 people in my CRM, then it's going to count. No, you'll never get there. If you don't use your CRM when you got 6.
Right.
To go from 6 to 10, you need to use your CRM. Now more than ever, I think it's getting harder to prospect. I'm saying that out loud. It's harder to prospect. I think people are looking at their phones and becoming more and more dismissive. As they look at their phones, they don't want to answer. They're look, I don't even read the text messages anymore that come through that are ads. I'm just swiping them delete because I don't even want to look at them anymore. I'm just being bombarded by whatever I've ever said I'm interested in. I'm being bombarded by, So I think this CRM thing, and I would talk to these, so, I'll just make sure I have notes. The last time I spoke to so-and-so. So what I do is I just call them. I haven't spoke to them in 3 months and we just have a conversation. And then that leads to some referrals and I guess here you are where you and your wife have also started a business where she's selling insurance. She's been doing it now a year. Do you and her have some sort of strategic model set up on your practices with the CRM? And kind of what does that look like a little bit?
It's mainly, it's used for 2 primary purposes. I mean, other than just good customer service and niceties, like checking who are all the birthdays for July, send them all a card. Like that's something you can do in your CRM. That's a nicety. So certainly we're taking advantage of those items. But one of the big things we did is we created, like I use Agency Block on my back end CRM, for example, tracks all my policy details, client details, whatever I need.
Yep.
So we have reminders set up for birthdays. We have reminders set up for all of our MA and PDP clients.
Yes,
so
sir.
When October 1st comes around, it automatically sends all of them an email that will remind them, hey, AEP's here, the new plans are out, schedule your free consultation, etc. So those are some automations. And then we use it for cross-marketing, identifying great cross-marketing opportunities. So one of the things that we're doing is going back through that CRM and looking for people that are good targets for us to promote cancer insurance to, as well as home health care. Like those are my 2 primary cross-market targets I'm looking at. What I'm trying to crack is an efficient way that I can get their medicine cabinet out of my point of sale technology somehow into Agency Blocker somewhere where I can immediately look at their prescription drug list and see how that GTL home healthcare product adds up for them.
Interesting.
I don't know if you're familiar with that product, but it
yes, sir. Absolutely. We sell
for drug refills. Right. And then if it balances out right, you end up with a free home healthcare policy for at least for the first few years.
Just for the money that they send you based on the prescriptions you take, generic versus brand, depending on how many, of course.
Correct. Yes. So since I have the medicine cabinet for all of our MA and PDP clients in my enrollment center for all of that, I need to get that data out so that I can then cross it with how that plan's going to pay them. And that's an easy introduction. Like, hey, I got a free home healthcare product for you, basically.
Yes.
Let me show you how it works. So those are our 2 primary cross-marketing strategies that we're working towards. And again, that's all based on info that you have in your CRM.
Yep. Now, and when you're working this, I know it gets tedious sometimes. And I know it gets to where, you're just like, man, I don't want to keep bugging them. But man, when I hear these guys talk, right, and they're like, so, I called so-and-so and, they had this and this set up. So then I talked to him. We set an appointment. We go out, we see him. We found out everything they had was good. But then 2 weeks later, they called me about a girlfriend that they had that they wanted me to talk to that might need some help with something. It's about just, again, out of sight, out of mind. And I think that's what people need to remember. And I think the CRM system gets us in a space where it's not out of sight, out of mind. We're in sight. We're in your mind. You will remember us when you're having a drink, walking the dog, playing bingo, or, having, coffee with a friend, and that's the space we're in. People that are, just gonna be hanging out. Our audience is a little bit slower, meaning that they're not go, go, go. Let's go to the club. Let's go do this.
Right. But the amount of information that's getting thrust on them isn't any slower than it is us.
Always.
Probably even more so. Right. Especially if then they're brand new to Medicare, they're getting hammered with stuff. So it's harder for our message to stand out, but if they're a client of ours, again, just like you said, the more we can stay in front of them, the more we're top of mind for referrals, for service, for new products, for whatever it might be. And it goes back to something you said to me a long time ago, the 5 M's, more meetings means more money.
Man, I'm telling you.
And even if it's just retention, if those more meetings are just helping you keep that client on the books, that's still more money.
The checkmate. Yes.
Right. Because otherwise they're off the books and then that's less money. So yes, more meetings means more money. You got to stay in touch with your clients.
Yep. And sometimes it may not seem that way, but it is. Here's a simple example that I think people could appreciate. So Nate and I were talking the other day about gambling. We were talking about craps. And, Butch was talking about how much money he's made at craps. He's had this luck streak, right? I'm like, Nate, we should just go do that. We'll just follow that formula because it's just going to work. And he's like, yeah, it might, or it might not. No kidding. Of course, I know it might not. We're not going in with that plan.
Even if you play it perfectly, there's about a 56% chance it won't work.
So here was his point. Ollie, don't you agree that the more and more and more and more we play, we'll have opportunities and we're going to get lucky a lot? Sure. But don't you think the more and more we play, the likelihood of us getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the natural numbers of the odds, don't you think that's eventually going to come true? Because isn't that how it always is?
Correct.
And as we were talking about, I thought about like baseball. Baseball's a great example. You can't be competing for the batting championship this year if you've only got 10 at bats.
Right. Because
you might have went 7 for 10 and you're batting 700. But what's his name over here? He's been batting, 3 times a game, 4 times a game, bro. He might be batting 295, but he's clutch at 295. Right.
Over 150 games.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Big difference. So it comes back to probabilities. Everything you're talking about to increase our odds, more meetings means more money. It doesn't seem like it in the beginning. So, and I know, and sometimes your luck that you think you have isn't going to last forever either, because the odds are going to be in the favor of the odds. Right. That's why they exist.
Yeah. The law of large numbers will always come back to the natural level. 100%.
And that happens in our business. That's the point. So if you want to have more success, touch your clients more often.
See more people.
See more people all the time.
Absolutely.
So great practice. We also, we encourage our agents. So we send them like I want to say, don't quote me, I think it's a 2-day advance. Their CRM sends them, boom, Tony's birthday's in 2 days. So-and-so's birthday's in 2 days.
Correct.
And my psychology, I've always encouraged agents to do is say, hey, listen, Tony, when you get that reminder, you should call them that day. No, dude, I'm going to wait till their birthday. No. Call them before and say something like this. Hey, man, I know your birthday's coming up. I wanted to just call and wish you happy birthday and not bombard you, because I bet you're so loved, your phone's going to blow up on your birthday. So I want to hook you up and just say happy birthday now. Just remember, I called you before it even happened. They laugh and chuckle. Yeah, they laugh and chuckle. They feel special. They also feel special because my perception of them is they're like a celebrity. When their birthday comes, their phone's going to be blowing up. Hopefully. They like that. Right. And, when they say, oh, no, honey, yeah, you know what? You're not going to get any calls. I'm calling you again in 2 days. I'm going to wish you happy birthday in 2 days.
Absolutely.
And I've done that because if you also, if you're going to take time out, Tony, to make the point that you're not really going to be that busy on your birthday, that means you're probably a little lonely about it. You wouldn't have shared that information. Well, I could take another 2 minutes out to be obnoxious and say happy birthday.
Absolutely.
So again, we're just talking about, it's about these opportunities that you can do with your clients, right?
Correct. And outside of all of the standard data that goes into your CRM, right?
Yes, sir.
Name, address, phone number, contact info, policy info, whatever. Great thing about it, if you're paying attention, is you can obviously fill out notes and you can make your own personal notes about that client, the conversations you've had over the time you spent with them. And you can remember the grandkids are named Johnny, Billy, and Susie. Right. And that their daughter goes to University of Houston or this or that, right? You can take those notes in that CRM. Call them, you're like, oh yeah, not only can I wish them happy birthday, but I remember that thing they were telling me about with their daughter getting a doctorate degree or whatever. And I can, ask her, how's that going? How's now that she's got her PhD, what's she doing? Like I can build that rapport with my client if you actually take time to use the notes section in your CRM to keep good notes on your clients.
It's a little helpful.
It's the little things. It's little things helpful. That build rapport is huge because rapport gains trust. It shows you care. Which goes back to that old John Maxwell adage that we all know, right? And that's where your note section really comes in excellent for your CRM if you're paying attention. Those little added details can be huge because it's going to help you build that rapport to gain the trust, to gain more business so that you can meet them more and take care of more problems, get more referrals, just have a long-term client. All those little things add up, right? But that's the difference between an agent that actually cares about his customers and the guy that just wants the paycheck at the end of the week. If you're just in at the commission, there ain't no notes in his CRM, except that when their premiums due.
It's true.
Only one.
It's true.
The person that cares about his client base, he's got notes in there. He knows the guy is an ex-US Navy guy. He knows this about him. You're right. You know all these things about your clientele so that you can build that rapport and be a real, authentic person with them.
That's true. I love it. That really kind of moves us a little bit here. And I want to try to seize this moment while we still have about 11 minutes left on our sales tip side of this show. Policies to sell a client for retention. When we first started talking about the CRM stuff, one of the first things you said was that we can go back in for add-on opportunities. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting you.
Sure.
Okay. So you made that point. Right. So because when you met them, for example, let's pretend this is an Advantage client. You're not selling them anything else. You sold them an Advantage plan. You had your scope signed. You did all rules applied. Right. Well, now we got to go back and sell them some other stuff. So now you create that opportunity. They're your client now. You call them back a few days later and you get to sell them some other things. One, it's important, obviously, to sell a client what they need, not what you want them to need. There's a big difference. Your needs and agendas should be to serve the client's needs and agendas, never yours.
Correct.
Right. So only sell them multiple policies if you can help them. So here we go. Does everybody that have an Advantage plan? So let me throw some blanket statements at you. One of your clients has an Advantage plan. Do they need a hospital indemnity plan? Do you think that's a need? Is that something that people should really look at as a psychological requirement?
Psychological requirement? Probably not. It depends. Again, it's one of those things like, do you have the money to cover the full out-of-pocket maximum if it goes that direction on your MA plan? Or is that going to be an issue?
Right.
And if that's going to be an issue, then let's plug the gap with an HI product. And then you can manage that out-of-pocket cost for 40, 50, 60 bucks a month, a lot easier. And then when you do go to the hospital, boom, it's covered. When you get the ambulance ride, you get a check. When you go visit the doctor and you have to pay a $20 copay, you turn that in, you get 20 bucks back. Like that's the part of the hospital indemnity plan. So that's my question for the MA client. If it gets as bad as it can get on this plan, is that $5,500, that $7,500, that $3,400, whatever the MOOP is that going to be a problem for you? If they're like, yeah, that would be a struggle. Okay, well, let me show you a way that we can tighten that up for you. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
That would be my concept of it being a real need.
Sure.
Is it a product that's useful and helps mitigate risk regardless? Yes. Right. So I think there's an opportunity to offer anybody that has an MA plan a hospital indemnity product. 100%.
For sure.
Personally, I like the home healthcare product a little more.
Right.
Because, and this is what really made me think of it recently, because at first you think, oh, the home healthcare product, okay, they got to lose 2 ADLs. They have to become extremely incapacitated for it to work.
Sure.
No, don't think of it that way. Think of it, how often are people in their 70s getting knee surgeries now, knee replacements? Well, when you get a knee replacement at 76 years old, like my mom is going through right now,
oh, God bless her. Okay.
You're going to lose at least 2 of your ADLs for a period of time.
Okay.
So that
there you go.
healthcare product allows someone to come in the house
Yes,
and
sir.
help take care of her, help get her out of the bed, move her to the bathroom,
right,
help bathe her if need be. Because at 76 with the knee replacement, she ain't standing up. She can't walk.
Yep,
She can't even get out of bed, right? So she has people there 24 hours a day right now between my dad, my mom, and another person helping look after her to get her through that recovery process.
Right.
So that's where a home healthcare product is more likely to come into play. Hip surgery, knee surgery, back surgery, any of those things where you have to recover and you're going to end up losing some of your ADLs, that product can get plugged in. And that is a more likely concept to sell it on versus, hey, when you become a vegetable,
yeah,
this product fits in. No. Don't talk about something that they can't relate to. Put it down like, look, it's very likely that you're probably going to have a knee surgery, hip surgery, something in the near future that's going to put you in basically incapacitated for the period of time. This product will help you recover.
So true.
Yep. Right. And then with the drug benefits that's built into it, it'll pay you for your drugs. You're basically getting the home health care for free. Let's roll. I think that's a more important product because that is a bigger risk, in my opinion. Right. Yeah. And then you get to maintain your dignity with the product like that.
Yep.
And then I also believe everybody should have cancer insurance. So when it comes to needs, my 2 needs are more in those 2 targets. Mm-hmm. Hospital indemnity, is there a need? Yeah. I think those are bigger needs.
Sure. Right. Right. Your passion is why, you're just excited as you're talking about it. And I think that's what makes the big difference. But I will tell you, Scott Harris just came out. I'm sure his comment came on the screen and he just put on their details, because the fact is a couple things you'll hear us say all the time. Don't sweat the small stuff. Go get in the house. We'll figure it out. Well, I believe that because what Scott's saying details when you're in the house, make sure you call when you're in the house after you're done going over a needs assessment. Let's talk through this person's situation because sometimes you might be missing a detail that could be the game changer. These products are so cool because it's one thing that will be the game changer for that individual. Mm-hmm. Whatever it might be. There's just so many different benefits. So I totally agree with you. Why do you think, though, this psychology of if someone has 3, like the way that Hunter did it on our show a couple of days ago, he said, if you have a policy, the numbers say that you got about a 33% chance of that client's going to be on your books long-term. Right. If you get 2 policies, you're living in about a 60% space. And if you got 3, they're saying it's well over 85% of your business is going to stick. Correct. What do you think is the relationship between policy and retention? Why do you think that exists? Where do you think that comes from?
If the client has multiple policies with me, right? Let's say they have a Medigap plan, drug plan, DVH plan, and maybe some final expense or something, right? They got 3 or 4 apps with me. They don't want another agent coming in and fouling up what we've built. Like he's just coming in, maybe trying to pitch a Medigap plan. And they're like, hey, that's great, but I got all this stuff with Ollie, right? Yep. He built this. We customized this for me. I don't want anybody coming here messing up. Ollie's my guy. That's the one I can call one guy for all of my stuff versus, well, I got to call this guy for this. I got to call this guy for this. I got to call this guy for this, right? Yeah. Seniors especially want simplicity.
For sure.
Right. So once they know, it's like, okay, cool. He's got my life insurance. He's got my health insurance. He's got my annuities. I got my guy. Why am I ever going to let anybody else come in there and mess that up unless the relationship between me and my guy gets sour somehow?
Yep.
And then they take their business elsewhere. Right.
Yep.
But once they know you're their guy and they trust you for your health, your life, your retirement planning, whatever it is, but they're not going to let anybody come in and mess that bundle up. They're just not going to. It's going to be a lot more difficult, right? If I just have one policy with someone, they're not like, whatever. I just got one app with that dude. It's not a big commitment. But once they know, like, man, this guy's got everything. I don't want anybody coming in because if he moves that, maybe it messes that up or whatever.
Right.
Now we know better that an agent could come in, replace that Medigap policy and not mess everything up.
Yep, that's true.
And the customer's praying, they're like, no, because then now I also, like I said earlier, I got 2 guys I got to deal with now.
Right.
Which one's dealing with what?
Yep.
So they'd rather simplicity. All I got to do is make one phone call and I can ask them about all of my insurance.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
And you know what's true, Tony, is that if for me to buy 3 policies from you takes some time. You don't buy, if you're a sales guy out there selling insurance, you don't sell 3 policies in an hour. That's not how it works. That means that you've spent several hours with this person, and this person's thinking, if I get another guy to show up, even if, they didn't like your insurance, if they didn't like you as their insurance guy, man, it took forever the last time. The hell with it. Nah,
I got to spend another 3 hours with this dude.
Forget it, dude. I'm good. I got my products. I'm staying right where I'm at. Yeah. I think there's value to your point there. I really do. I can see that. I remember
the neighborhood that I grew up in as a kid was an unrestricted neighborhood, right? So you could do whatever you want. People could turn their house into a business, whatever. And I remember there was a State Farm agent in our neighborhood that converted his house into his agency.
Yes.
Had his big brick sign out front, John Phelps State Farm, drove by it every day. I still remember it. My dad had all of his insurance with that one guy.
Yes.
Both cars, the house, his life insurance, everything was with that one guy. Right. Same exact. And it was like that for years.
Sure.
Years and years and years. Because he was in the neighborhood, he saw the brand, and that was his one guy. So it's the same concept. I mean, once people figure out that this is the guy that can take care of all my insurance needs, it's simpler, and that's why they do it. It's no different really than you go to the grocery store. You got a list of items on your grocery list or whatever. You want to go, if you can, you want to go to the one store that has all of them. I don't want to have to go here for that, there for that, there for that, and there for that. So that same mentality spills over into insurance. I'd rather find a broker that can just knock it all out for me. One guy I can trust and deal with. One guy I can yell at when things aren't right.
Yeah, but I agree. And I see that, and I wonder, if people can buy into that, it changes their business so much. But I think even our business though, if people are paying attention, it sets you up for multiple policies, right? And what I mean by that is when you sell a MedSup, you're selling a Medicare supplement to somebody, which means they have a drug plan or need a drug plan. I didn't say want. They either have one or need one. So if they have one, do they have the correct one? And if they don't have one, I'm just telling you, they need one. No, people don't need drug plans. Well, they need one so bad that you'll be charged a penalty if you ever choose to get one. If you don't get one when the government says get one now. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that would be the biggest piece I would say to that. I know that Nate's all excited. He wants to get into corrections and everything, but we're going to keep this going for a few more minutes. If that's cool with you, sir. Okay. He just whispered in our, did you get the whisper thing in your ear?
I did.
You did. All right, cool. It's kind of cool. Makes us feel a little official.
Well, it kind of confuses me. I'm not, who's in there all of a sudden? Who's in my brain?
I agree.
Bouncing around.
I agree. 100%. 100%. But Nate, if you want to get on, buddy, that's great. We're just going to finish up with this. I tripped. You see that? But so you're sitting down with the client and you go through the needs assessment and you finish all this stuff up. Tomorrow, you call the client back. You sell them maybe 2 policies. You sell them a health plan and a hospital indemnity plan, or a health plan and a cancer plan, or a health plan and a life insurance plan. You come up the next day, you give them the update, what's going on, right? We talked about the rehash. I put that training video together, right, about that. So maybe we should put that link on this show as well. But so, you go through the rehash, you go through that process, you contact the client. Now you have these policies, you go take it back. That's a great time when you deliver policies to clients to do the pivot. And I know there's a lot of agents out there that love I just check that box off, deliver directly to the client. Yeah, I hate that option. I wish that option would be removed because there's nothing better than you delivering it. So here's my advice. If you're big on checking the wrong box so it gets delivered directly, make habit to when you know that's being delivered that you've got an appointment set up to go see them. So you can resell the business you sold by reassuring them on the understanding of what they got. And then you can pivot. And to Tony's point, if you're getting at least a couple policies on the first sale, well, then you're going to get number 3, which increases your probability of keeping the client over 85+%.
100.
Here we are, second show this week discussing the topic, 2 different experts in the industry, both same words roll out of their mouth, which is pretty fascinating. So I'm grateful. And I love
3 apps.
Man,
it's really not that difficult in the Medicare space to get 3 apps.
It really is not. It really is not.
Medigap, drug plan, GVH.
100%.
That's 3 apps. And you should be able to sell that in an hour.
100%.
You really should.
Yes.
It's not that difficult.
Right.
And then if you're really good, cancer comes in behind it, or final expense, or all of it.
For sure. For sure. I love it. Nathan, are you getting on, sir? Nathan going once.
If you want to increase your odds, pitch your products in bundles. Create a bundle. Like here's our bronze plan, silver plan, gold plan. Bronze plan is Medigap and PDP.
Perfect.
Right. So, I mean, if you can bundle your products into one pitch and let them pick the bundle that they like, well, there's your 3 apps right there. Boom.
You know, Tony,
One
it's
sale.
funny. It's funny that you say that. I know Nathan said he's getting on in a second. He gave us a few more minutes, which is great. I appreciate it, sir. You talk about the bundle thing. So when I was out selling all the time, I would say that, listen, we've got what we call the Strong Family Consolidation Program.
There you go.
How many times you go to a client's house and they got 3 different life insurance policies?
Right.
As an example, they got a 5,000, a 2,000, and a 4,000. And what probably happened was during their life, at some point during the years, the right salesman came in, encouraged them to get more life insurance, which is not bad. And they were able to afford a little bit more. And then later they were able to afford a little bit more, which I think is totally smart. I think that's a good way to buy life insurance for somebody. Because I always would leave someone's house and say, listen, you're better off having some versus none.
Right.
I'd say, Mrs. Jones, please, when I leave here today, I'm literally begging you, please have me leave here with you having some versus none. And I would just wait. So they would say, all right, honey, we'll go ahead and get some, because better than none. So you would get that. So they got those 3 policies. Hey, Nate, yeah, you better want to flip around. So then they'd have the 3. So they'd be like, all right, so look, that's 11,000 worth of life insurance coverage. We could sell you a $12,000 Mutual of Omaha. It'll be $1,000 more of death benefit. It literally will only cost you maybe $1.50 more a month. I'm just giving a scenario here.
Shit, it might even be less.
And you might have, and you've got about $300 of cash value in these 3 policies. You got about $300-400. We're going to get that money back. So now you're paying $1.50 more. You got 1 policy. You got 1 guy. Okay. And you're going to get $300-400 back. And you're paying, $1.50 a month more.
Yeah.
Win, checks all the boxes. So even in those scenarios, check that out. I took a lady that had 3 policies with 3 different sales guys or whatever, bundle them together. Now I'm her guy. Now she's excited. So now when I go ahead and get her health insurance, part of this bundling program, now she gets her health insurance. I saved her money there. Now she's got more life insurance. And then sometimes you can even take money you saved them on their Medicare supplement and attach that to some more life insurance. And again, as guys know, no one ever gets mad if their mom or dad has too much life insurance. I've never had anybody complain about too much life insurance.
Right.
And as an agent, you'll make yourself a few extra bucks too. Again, check all the boxes, how everybody wins down the line.
Yeah. That consolidation pitch or concept should be a cakewalk.
Man.
Assuming, the health situation is there to make it
Yes.
right for underwriting. But I mean, if there's anything you wouldn't want more than just to turn in 1 claim when you're in that moment in your life, you just lost your husband, you just lost your wife, right, your spouse for years, and now I have to go, well, I have 3-4 different life insurance policies, let me get all this together, I got to call this guy for this one. That's not the moment in time of your life that you want to deal with that mess. Right. So, I mean, that should be the easiest pitch. Like, think about it, sir.
I agree.
He's like, yeah, 100%. I would rather just call one guy and get this benefit turned in.
Yeah. Makes life a lot easier.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right, Mr. Nathan, welcome to the show. The stash is still there. It's still living.
Thank you. Yeah. No, it's still going strong.
Has it crawled off yet?
There we go.
No, it hasn't run away yet.
And look at that hair.
Looks like it's about to get legs and take off here in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's got to get a trim here, but it's staying around, I think.
There we go. Well, you wear it well, my friend. You wear it well. So you have any corrections or anything that you need to share with us today?
I didn't catch you guys slipping at all really today, but I did want to share that we have an informative video coming out about dental that, agents can share with their clients even. It's kind of geared toward people looking for dental insurance. It's not necessarily like the interview we had geared more towards the sales side. So this is good for people to know, like agents to know, and for clients to know.
Yes.
And so I was going to highlight a couple of things here that we say in the show. And so normally, just the basic dental and vision stuff that you want to get done every year costs about $750. And so that's something that you can save on right away when you get dental, is that just the maintenance stuff that you have to do is going to get covered by that dental insurance and just save you $200 right off the bat. So without any, you know, like crowns, dentures, talking about all this fancy stuff, just the maintenance is alone a savings, even just like right off the bat if you don't really use it besides that. So I thought that was a really good thing to know as a consumer. And then I'm literally just pulling right off the script too from this video that we did. So I'd highly suggest everyone go check that out. Oh, another one that I found pretty crazy was that the 36 million Americans have no teeth at all. It's all dentures. And then
36 million, that's 10%. That's a little more than 10%. It's like 12% of all Americans have no teeth.
Yeah.
No teeth at all. Yeah.
Yogurt diet.
Or dentures, hopefully, or something like that.
I know. It's crazy.
And then 120 million, which is like 3 times as much, have at least one missing tooth. So that one, I feel like I've seen people with a couple missing teeth here and there.
Nice job. Way to look out for those people missing teeth there, Nate. I've seen people with missing teeth. That's good. That's good. Hey, the reason why we know the study is correct is because Nathan has also ran into people with missing teeth.
I mean, how many hockey players are there out there, you know?
I got a missing tooth story for you if we can do this real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm probably a 12-year-old kid, something like that. Some of the neighborhood boys were in my driveway playing basketball on my goal. My brother was out there clowning around with us. We had a asphalt driveway, had a perfect 10-foot goal my dad built. It's awesome. At the time, my brother drove a 1984 Delta 88 Oldsmobile. It's like the epitome of land sharks. And it was parked right underneath the carport where the goal is mounted.
Yep.
Well, we're all playing. I don't know if we're playing 21 or 3-on-3 or something like that. But one of the guy that lives across, the kid that lives across the street from me, who happened to have some really big old buck teeth. Somebody probably fouled him. I don't know. But he fell head first into my brother's car.
Oh.
And if you remember those old school 80s cars, they had the big chrome bumper, but then it had that rubber bar around it.
Sure, to protect it.
He fell.
Boom.
His teeth stuck, his 2 front teeth stuck in that rubber bumper.
Yeah.
When he came out, they were both gone and they were still sitting there embedded in it because he basically fell mouth open right into it. And we looked and were like, because he came up, blood was immediately pouring down. And then we were like, oh, what happened? And we thought he just busted his lip. And he's like, oh, my teeth are gone. And then we looked over at the bumper and there they are. They're both sitting there. I can't. So we pulled him out, gave him to him. He ran across the street.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff, Tony.
Poor guy, man.
Oh, painful.
Yes.
Yeah,
but he got him put back in. He's all good.
Hey, you know what, Nate? I have to share a quick story too about this dental thing. Really quick. We're talking about the business. I know you're the student of time here, and I appreciate you holding us accountable. Okay, so I'm meeting this client in Claremore. Be very careful if you think you're smarter than your clients. I'm meeting this guy in Claremore. Never met him before. When I meet him, he's talking like this because he just doesn't have any teeth. I mean, I'm not joking, right? And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to see how this meeting's going to go, right? 20 minutes. I'm pouring it out to this guy. Okay. And after 20 minutes, he goes, you got to hang on a second, son. And I said, okay, sir, what's up? He goes, when you get to my age, and I'll just talk regular, when you get to my age, you got to understand. A lot of times you want to sell me the insurance. I already have things to protect me, but I'm willing to listen. So you got to give me a second. He goes, the first thing I'm going to do, and he goes in his pocket, he pulls out these 2 little things and he puts them in his ear. Okay. He goes, and then he goes and he does like this and he puts his glasses on. And then he pulls this glass that he has and he goes in there and he takes out these things and puts his teeth in. He goes, son, you've interested me. I'm ready to pay attention, see, listen, and talk to you about what you got today. And I couldn't believe it. Every one of his senses is pretty much in his pocket. And if he needs them, he'll use them. If he doesn't need them, he doesn't need to waste his energy. And I was like mind blown. That is the ultimate.
That's awesome.
And, yeah. I just love, and I want you to know, he bought insurance from me that day. For years after, I still kind of had a little bit of relationship with him until kind of hand him off to another agent and, life obviously moves on, but just super cool. This story is like over 10, 11 years ago. And the guy was just awesome. Just an awesome man that really showed me, be careful. There's people a lot smarter than you. You may not know that. They're just sitting right in front of you.
Yeah. I've got one client here locally that I help with the DSNP plan, and occasionally I'll go visit her. She's actually a friend of ours. but she will forget to put her teeth in. And so we'll go over and then she'll answer the door. She's like, oh, wait, I forgot my teeth. She gets all embarrassed and got to go put them in.
Yeah.
Like, how do you forget that?
Yeah.
And
So
I'll
it's
probably be
crazy.
there one day, you know.
Well, no hurry. We'll just pray
Right.
for yeah. All right. Nate, where are we off to, sir? We're off to gratitude, aren't we?
We got a little bit of gratitude left here if you want to
Perfect.
out.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, every episode we like to take a moment out for whoever's on the show with us to just share a piece of appreciation or gratitude that we might have. And we're going to lead off with Mr. Elkind today.
Woohoo.
Well, I'm grateful for our coffee machine. The thing kicks out some good stuff.
It does.
Yeah, so I'm super grateful for my girlfriend, actually. I'm
Oh,
going to go ahead and do that one today.
okay.
She, like, I can cook for myself. Like, I can make pretty okay. Like, it'll keep me alive. But
Okay.
it's no, it's no restaurant quality or anything. But she cooks and, like, likes cooking and enjoys, like, trying new things and learning how to do stuff. So I'm super grateful that she is interested in that because I am not. And I think that complements well with some of the things that I'm interested in that she's not.
All right.
Awesome. So your cooking is kind of like Taco Bell meat, right? If you ever look at the package of Taco Bell meat, it says grade D, but edible.
Right.
Exactly. Technically, you can eat this.
Right.
Yes. Got it. Mr. Merwin, it's your turn, sir. Hopefully there's no extender in your meat.
No, definitely not. I'm going to piggyback on him only because it's perfect. And now we were talking about it yesterday. I was hanging out with some of the coworkers yesterday at a happy hour for a birthday, but grateful for my wife. When we were discussing her yesterday. She was a hot topic at the table. Somebody brought up that she lives up to her name, Grace. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I married her. It's one of the big reasons why I married her. I've never seen anyone in my life that fulfills the name that they were given in life to the epitome that she does.
Love it.
Watching her work a room, graceful, the way she moves through it, the way she handles herself, the way she speaks with people, like epitome of it. And it's something that everybody could learn from, learn to be a little more graceful in their actions and how they move, their behavior. But I'm super thankful. It's what attracted to me when I met her. And it was somebody else brought it up and it reminded me and kind of brought up those warm feelings. So I'm super grateful for you, Grace. I hope you're listening out there today and just keep being you, girl.
Oh, that's sweet. Love it. All right. Well, man, you guys are some toppers today. Well, I'm just going to take a moment out and just share my gratitude and appreciation to Zach Dunlop, Erica Curtis, Lexi Kennedy, Justin Klusak, you, Nathan, and Scott Harris, Butch and Jamie. I feel like I haven't missed anybody there. Did I, Nate, that went with us this past week?
The spouses.
Jeff Milburn, who did you say?
The spouses.
I guess I'm taking a moment out and just share some gratitude for these people that work with us here at Strong Family. Of course, their families are extensions of that, or their friends are extension of that, but these people are the ones that are making it happen. And Strong Family Financial is going to grow and continue to grow, and we're going to manifest some great things. And this flock of people have been tremendous, that have been going into to help make that happen. And then we got other cats too that are working with us that are making some big differences. We got big cheerleaders. Zach Nash has been on this show many, many a times. I'm not trying to forget anybody, but those guys helped make this last weekend happen. I earlier in the show was talking about Jamie's creativity. I'm grateful for that, but no need for it if we don't have the people that he's able to put together something special. So this is just me saying thank you to all of them for making a memorable weekend, because without them, there would not have been one. So Nate, thank you to you as well for that. I obviously missed the 8% Nation. Hate the fact that happened, but I'm so grateful for what we're able to do together as our community and we grow our company. So
absolutely.
That's my gratitude.
Is the
there.
Gaylord, you mentioned Gaylord had a water park.
Oh
is
my
that
gosh.
The place that has the giant Texas-shaped lazy river around the water park?
There's a Texas lazy river there.
That is
my
the
God.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me about it, and I thought they did say it was the Gaylord.
Yeah. And we were on it. We all got on the laser. That was fun.
We went through it a couple times.
Yeah. Went through it a couple times. It was good. It was good times. Yeah. All right. What's next, sir? We're wrapping up. We're signing off.
Sign off.
Perfect. Tony, anything, sir, you'd like to mention or leave as a thought before we go into August?
man, get ready for AEP. If you haven't started planning your marketing, getting all your stuff in order, get going. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'm talking to agents that are getting their mailers ready. They're getting them out August 1st or that first week of August. Do not delay. Get your stuff in order. Get ready to go for AEP because it's going to be here quicker than you know it. And if your marketing's not out there, you're going to be sitting on the sidelines, stuck to working nothing but your CRM.
You will be SOL, I assure you. Get ahead of the curve. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Please take a look at the content that we're putting together. For those that are interested and do not sell these hospital indemnity products, please reach out to me or reach out to Tony, and we will get you in contact with the other for whatever it is that you might be looking for or what type of support you're needing. Tony and I are here to help and see how we can help you navigate with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take a look at our other content, subscribe, like, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much, and live a strong life.
All right, we are